Hi, my name is Ab Benson, and in today's video we are going to learn how to create a simple poster in Photoshop. This tutorial is perfect for beginners, but if you are an intermediate or professional, you can still follow along and pick up some useful tricks. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create clean design work in Photoshop, how to align objects properly for a professional look, how to prepare a document for print ready. Let's dive in. I'm going to press Command N or Control N on the keyboard. I'm going to be working with this preset. I'm going to change my color mode from RGB to CMYK. So the reason why I'm using CMYK is because CMYK is good for print and RGB is good if you're viewing something which is going to be going on the web, but it's going to be going on social platforms or just be on your device. And I'll say create. The next thing, I'll come to our layers and I'm just going to our background here and click on this lock icon. And it unlocks. Then I'll come to my view, then I'll come to my guides, and I'll come to my new guides from shape. Then Photoshop creates these guides which you're seeing right here. The next thing I want to do is to create some bleeds. So what I'll do is that I'll come to my image and I'll say canvas size. Then what I will do here, I'm going to change some values, but before that, maybe yours is on pixels, change it from pixels to millimeters. And I'm going to change the values here. I'll say 10 here, and I'll say 10 on the height as well. And I'll say okay. So what now Photoshop has done is that it has created our canvas with an addition of 10 millimeters. So what happens is that everything which is going to be outside these margins which Photoshop has created will be cut out. So what we're going to do is that whatever we're going to be putting in here has to be within this white, these margins which are here. So this is our guide. So I'm just going to come to our foreground and background. I'm just going to pick up a color which I'm going to be choosing, and I'm just going to choose this color and I'll say okay, but you can choose whatever you feel like. So I'm going to fill up our document by pressing Alt backspace, and the next thing which I want to do is bring in some objects we're going to be working on. So let's say, for example, this poster is for a furniture company and they were having a big sale on a Friday. So, and I've told you that can you create something for us which we're going to be publicizing to the public. We're having this big sale which we're having. So I'm going to put in these furnitures, and I'll leave a link to the description to these chairs so that you can be able to download and follow through along. So I'm going to drag this here, and I'm just trying to position this maybe like so, like this. Then the next thing, I'll come to my text here, and I'll just try to type in something. So in fact, I'm just going to copy something which I'd already done. So you can type in whatever you feel like in the text field, and right now I can't see anything because our text color is in orange. So I'll just press Command A to highlight everything, and I'll come to my character panel here. So just in case if you can't see your character panel, you come to your window here, then you choose character, then your character opens up. So I'll choose my color here to white so that I can be able to see my font. And I'm be working with SF Pro, but you can change to whatever you feel like if you don't have the font anyway. So the thing which I will do here, I'm just going to increase the size maybe to like this. Then I'm going to make all this to be capitals. I'll just click on this part, and I'm just going to bring this thing together like this. Okay, so we are done for now for our subheading. I'll come to my move tool, then just position this maybe like this. So the next thing which I want to do is just try to create a guide to how my text will be flowing. Design is about creating things in a systematic way. So if you want to create clean design, make sure that your things are systematic. So I'll come to my ruler here. As you can see, these are my rules. And what I will do is that I will, just in case maybe you can't see your ruler, just press Command R, or come to your view, then choose rulers. Then your ruler will appear here. So I'll just drag this like this and create so that everything which I'm going to be creating, the text will be just flowing in the same line. So the next thing which I want to do is to create our subheading. So I'll come to my text to here, and I'll just create a text box. I'll just drag this like this. Then the next thing, I'll just copy this, which I'd already done, and I'll say copy, and I'll just come here and just paste in here. Just say okay. Then I'll just make some adjustments, maybe like so. Then I'll just click this so that it becomes smaller. Then the next thing is just drag this thing like that, maybe like this is fine. Then I'll change my style from black to regular so that there's a variation between the fonts. Okay, so this is our subheading. I'll come to our move tool, then I'll drag this thing here. So just in case my voice sounds a bit fuzzy, guys, it's because I have flu, but I have to make a tutorial for you guys, you know. Okay, so that has been done. The next thing is that I'm just trying to create something which is going to be more of a contrast, or build a contrast on our poster here. So what I'll do is that I'll come to my shape tool here, and I'll choose the rectangle, and I'll try to change the fill maybe to this green. And I'll just come to my canvas here and just draw like this. I'll just zoom in a bit. You see these points which are here. So what happens is that if I pull this like this, it creates more of like rounded corners to our shape, and that's what I want, you know. I don't want them to have those edges, flat edges. I just want to have some corners on them. So the next thing after doing this, I'll come to my text tool and try to let me do this. In fact, I'll just copy this here. I'll try to paste this here so that I can show up here, and I'll just type in and just paste this here like this, and I'll just highlight this, try to increase the size maybe like so, then change the font styling to maybe bold for this, and I'll come to my move tool here and just move this like this. Okay, so the next thing is just try to adjust this shape too. I mean the shape. So I'll come to my rectangle here, but on my layer side, then just try to drag this like this to maybe something like this, and I'll try to highlight both of these by pressing Command and clicking on these two, and just maybe drag it like this. Okay. So right now our design is coming up, as you can see. The next thing which I want to do is try to create some contrast to our design, because right now this looks a bit flat anyway to me anyway. So the thing which I want to do is that I'll come to my pen tool here to create a shape. So I'll come to my pen tool here, and I'll come to my preset here and just change from path to shape. So what I'll do here, I'll just draw something like this, such a point, and to this point, and something like this. Okay, and I'll say okay. All right, I just need to remove there. I can see there's something behind there, so let me just try to remove this here. Let me just remove this. Okay, so we have something like this, but right now our shop here rectangle thing has come out. So let me just try to highlight it, so it's here. I'll choose a different color because they're now conflicting. So I'll come to my fill here, click on it, and I'll just click on the color here, then just try to maybe get this and say okay. All right, so right now we have something like this, and what I would do is that I'll come to my chair here, try to adjust it so that maybe we create some dimensional. So I'll click on this, then just try to adjust maybe so that it becomes a bit bigger, like so. All right, this already looks a bit interesting. It looks like something which is serious. So, but I would like to see how maybe I can spice up this, or change the color for the chair maybe to another. So what I'll do, I'll just press Command J to duplicate it, and I'm just going to come to my brush side here and just choose from, let's say, oh sorry, it's supposed to be here. Yeah, so I'll come to my brush side here, and I'll just choose from the brush tool to color replacement. I'm just going to create maybe an adjustment layer. So just maybe create an adjustment layer for this, and I'll just say okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I need to rasterize this and say okay, and I'll just create an adjustment layer. Then after that, I'll click on this and just try to paint. So the color which I want to paint our chair is the green, yeah, the emerald green here. So I'll just switch our colors here like this, then just try to change our colors. So if maybe you want another color, you can choose any color which you prefer, which you feel as if it's going to be good for your work. And I think we are done. So let me just try to zoom in and see if there's some imperfections. Okay, this is just okay. I can see right now that there are some of the greens which have gone to the legs, but we don't want the legs to be affected. So what I'll do is that I'll come to my adjustment here, click on it, then I'll come to my brush here, change from color replacement to brush. Then I'll try to reduce the brush size anyway by pressing the brackets. That's the left bracket to decrease, or better still, you can just right click, then just reduce from here. Okay, so what I want to do is just to take off these, you know. So what I'll do, I'll come here, then try to switch this to like this, then paint out these like so. All right, I think now we are good. And that's how you create a simple poster inside of Photoshop. I hope you've learned something, and I would like to hear you and see maybe what you have done, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.